Hey everybody, it's Octavius Rex here, and I'm trying something a little different today, as you can plainly see. I'm actually got figured out that my cam, which is one that's meant to be either a PC cam or a laptop cam, and it has an adjustable clip kind of thing. Um, I'd been trying in the past to steady it on a camera mounted on my tripod, not a video camera, obviously, but a just basic photo taking camera, and the camera was too thin to properly support the camera, or in this case, I guess I should call it the webcam. Um, so then I got the bright idea. I know, wow, this is really going to be a testament to my genius, right? What if I took the camera off? And so I did, much to my amazement, with a little bit of adjustment to the clip arm here. I was able to actually get this mounted on a actual tripod here. I'm testing this because I think that for the most part, I'm hoping to maybe rearrange my space here uh, for use of a studio. And one of the things I wanted to do is to have something that I could sit on, like a couch or a futon, although that's probably either not going to happen or it's going to be a long time in coming, but neither here nor there. And then I would try to mount this cam, since it's one of the best ones that I own, on a tripod that I could have right here for you guys. So it could be like more like I'm addressing you. But unfortunately, where I've got things set up, my monitor of sorts is over here, as you can see through the glasses here, and my light's a little bit further away, although I don't feel like it's hurting the quality of the light in this particular production here. But you might get upset at me for tonight referring to information that I need to on my monitor here, instead of always addressing you like I tend to do with the old webcam here when I had it mounted on top of my TV, which is now my monitor. Um, so this is an experiment for right now. Tomorrow, if I choose to do broadcasting, which I might not. I've got so much I've got to get done, and I'm just not quite getting it all finished. I may go back to being on top of the TV, but part of me just felt like maybe you might enjoy it a little bit more if I'm centered right here and looking more at you than kind of down at you, or kind of being slightly hunched because I'm kind of above the webcam rather than actually at face length here. This is part of the continued evolution of this particular channel, and the work that I'm putting into it, even if, as I've stated, this is not really a permanent channel. I've got my entertainment channel that'll probably be the takeover of where I shift things over to. By shift, I just mean me and my content being as an actor or as somebody trying to perform, doing maybe little skits, little experiments with my girlfriend. I know sometimes I call her fiance, sometimes I call her girlfriend. I think that I should probably clarify, since I keep correcting myself. I consider her my fiance, and she tends to consider me much the same, but I haven't gotten her the ring, and I haven't done a proper asking. I mean, I've asked, obviously, otherwise why would I call her this if I was like, well, maybe she will, maybe she won't. But I want to do things in a romantic way. I want to do things in a special way because she hasn't had that in her life, and it's just kind of who I am. I thought my first ex had killed this part of me, but fortunately she had not. But we're kind of technically fiancés, but I don't really want to consider her that officially until I've made the actual effort to ask her in a deserving manner. So forgive my back and forth. That may or may not go away, but at least from here on out, you guys know what's up with that. But what do I mean by that? Well, for those of you who haven't been with me since the channel switch, I'm not going to explain why I switched my channel. It's just how things are. I'm in a situation where I don't always have the freedoms to express myself in the manner in which I wish to express myself. And it's not my house, so I really don't have any say on that. Which is why I continually try to say to those of you who are much younger than me, who maybe somewhat look up to me, don't waste your time with college. Maybe you can't figure out your major, fine, I get that. Maybe take a break for a year, but don't do what I did. Don't take like a 10-year hiatus and then be off in your 30s, maybe with a child, maybe a child you're raising on your own, having to figure out, well, what the heck am I going to do as far as permanent employment? I mean, I've been employed. I actually left a job to go back to school because I'm not the kind of person who could do school and do, the kind of labor that retail around in my area is demanding that I do. Now, if I absolutely have to, I do. But, I pick up odd jobs here and there, and I do pretty all right for now. But I would much rather be the one doing everything in terms of the ways that I support my situation here, which is why I'm going back to school, because I want to do that. But the point is, doing this kind of activism, going against society, or at the very least just trying to advocate for walking away from our traditional ideals that on one hand have served us well in the past, but in the present are so antiquated that they lead to things that hurt people. A lot of our societal ideals that we have going on are actually hurting the kids we're trying to protect. A lot of the ideas we have going on are hurting women just as they're hurting men. And that's not just talking about the stuff I just finished, well, mostly finished talking about with the military rape situation, which, FYI, tonight I will not be finishing that series, but I hope to either tomorrow or Sunday. And when you do that, especially when you talk about something that has to do with sex and sexuality, there are people who are so upset that you would dare to speak out against the ways in which people are handling things, that they want to hurt you. They want to kill you. Or they want to advocate that the worst thing in the world would happen to your child simply because they don't agree. Not that I'm advocating for anything that is hurtful to society as a whole. I'm actually advocating to getting us away from the things that hurt us as a whole, to bring us into a more progressive world in this first world, so that I can then push further and deeper into third world countries and try to help them out as well. You know, I do try to also speak of third world issues, absolutely, but the main problem I'm seeing is, how can I expect to clean other people's houses when my own house is not clean in terms of the first world? I'm trying to get us to see that this is not working, that we are all culpable in many ways to many of the ills that we see today, and that there is a better way, and a better way that could even include the inclusion of the things they fear might be stripped away in the modern world, such as religion. You know, I may think that facing reality on reality's terms is a better way of living life because it's where I've come from. And I may think that on some levels, theism is magical thinking. That doesn't mean, though, that I'm going to burn anybody's books or that I'm going to burn anybody's houses of worship down. I've seen, even if I feel that a lot of my theist friends are better than this, it brings them happiness. And in the end, they're not the ones out there chanting homophobia or working towards homophobia. Some of them are actually working right with me on trying to fix some of these issues, because it's the right thing to do. It's what their chosen deity or deity representative, like in the case of Jesus, would do. I think these people absolutely could be just the same kind of people, and for the most part, just about as happy without theism. But again, I'm not a militant anti-theist. I'm not going to try to destroy it because I think that it causes evils in this world, when in truth, no ideology really causes a person to do anything beyond their human nature, just like with video games. Anyways, to get to the point, I can risk myself to some degree since my son is unknown in this outside of my community. I'm not risking him. And while I'm careful, I'm not actually afraid of people, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, here's my address, come at me, bro, kind of thing here, because I know some of these people would take me up on this, and I don't want to make myself any bigger of a target for being somebody who wants social change than I already have. And yes, these channels will still stand for as long as YouTube will allow me to maintain them and for them to stand, even though I'll be doing the entertainment thing separate. But I don't want any new content I do to become such a thing that wherever I end up with my wife or soon to be wife and her kids, that I end up risking their lives. It's not right of me. I would never dare ask them for this because they're not a part of this. And so I'm kind of retiring as soon as I get married, as soon as I move out, as soon as I'm with the woman that I love, because I cannot and will not ask them to put themselves in a place of danger. As much as I believe in what I do and the messages that I put out there through research, reasoning, facts, fact-checking, back-checking, that doesn't mean that I need to make my family a target as well. So it's about being responsible and not selfish, because in a way, even though I'm selflessly working towards a better world, it would be selfish of me to ask, nay, demand that they live under some sort of fear of themselves because somebody just does not like what I have to say to the point that they are willing to kill me or kill my family. At which time, though, of course, I would say if you're going to resort to that just to support your ideology, you've already lost. But I digress. So this channel will not be here, or at least new content on this channel will not be around forever. And sad as it is as well, to some degree I will have to bow to social pressure as well, and I may, just to get a job, have to destroy these channels at some point, or at least private them so that these folks can't use my call for social responsibility in places where people are demonstratively being harmed won't cost me a job. But don't think that I would take any pleasure in doing so if I were demanded to do so. But if it's for a career, family's got to come first.